Hello and good morning, everybody. It's about 10 a.m. here at the Moto Mill, and today we've got some open class awesomeness. Yamaha has always been a leader in technological innovation in the motocross scene. As you can see here, that 1976 yz400 is a radical departure from other machines of the 1970s era. A completely unique chassis to sport the carbon shock, and KYB's state-of-the-art air forks. You can see those original rubbers on top. Very, very rare and hard to get those now. People called them the speedometer and tack forks, and they also had a lot of issues tuning them. I've never had that issue. They've always been head and shoulders above the rest of the KYB forks from that era. The earlier ones I really don't like MX360 and DT2MX and RT1 come with. I think those forks are incredibly awful, actually. You can see at some point in this bike's time, it took a little damage to the rear frame loop. She's a little bent down. See if we can't get up under that cover here to show you. That's the bell on the back of the carbon shock. Bike has incredible reliability because it's a Yamaha. Starts in one kick, maybe two if you're having a bad day. Got a 3-piece pipe on it. Huge silencer. That silencer kind of emphasizes the issue with this machine. Weight. It weighs far, far too much. Maybe more than TM400. It expresses traction in a really good way. That the front always feels planted and the rear always feels planted. But maybe that's because it's such a portly machine. If you could lose about 40, 50 pounds, maybe more on this bike, you would have a real world beater. The problem is, that's easier said than done. Probably lose a little changing out the pipe. Might be able to change out to the 125 hubs. If you lose that much weight, you could deal with the slightly less braking power, but tall order for it. Great torquey, flowy motor. Makes incredible power from bottom and mid-range. Doesn't really shriek on top. I've got a second one of these that I'm preparing that'll probably do a little more port work to the cylinder and see if I can't get it to open up a little more. Original paint on the gas tank. Now the stickers were replaced, but when I pulled the original ones off, they were already in pretty bad shape. It left the sun faded outline, and so I was able to perfectly line them back up. So because of that, she's looking pretty nice. The air boxes on these machines are starting to become pretty difficult to get. Unique design. But Yamaha's always been very innovative. Like this machine over here, where they finally turned the motor around and had that airbox up on top. Yamaha's kept that tradition going for a long time now. Their innovations didn't always work out, like with this machine. But regardless, this is still one of my favorites in my collection just because it's so easy to start and it's a really friendly bike. It's not really raceable. I mean, I've taken it to the races before and it does okay. But I would say the motor does a little better than the old 360 motor. I like the YZ360 motor and the RT1 MX motor. They're good. I really can't stand the MX360 motor. That was kind of a weird generation. That was, I guess, really meant for play bikes. I know it has the MX designation, but there's still the YZ at the time. And before that, RT2MX. And the older Series 360 motor that would live on with the YZ was much better than that new MX360 power plant that was always very anemic. I don't know how Yamaha lost so much power and made such a bad open class motor. But this bike doesn't suffer from any of that. This bike's really, really usable. You could use it on the road, you could use it on the trails. Still works great on a motocross track. This bike gets a lot of hole shots. Just wears you out quick because the weight also makes that rear shock fade pretty quick. So if you start really hammering it, you start really noticing it. Never notice any change in the air forks though. The air forks always do really good. Got that little tiny gas cap up there. And we'll do a shootout with this bike and some of the other Yamaha open classers, as well as some competition for this machine. Just gotta get some technical stuff here figured out a little bit, like some cameras and tripods and whatnot. But for now, we're just doing this nice little walk around. If you like this, please subscribe. Thank you, everybody.